Hello, Jon Sermon here again, wanting to give you some encouragement during these difficult times we face in our nation and across the nations. And in particular, today I'm recording this on the day when we've had a number of government announcements about the need to impose new restrictions to limit contact with one another because of the level of infection rising, otherwise completely out of control, for coronavirus. It's an important thing for us to be aware of. Now, alongside all the ways we can cooperate with the appropriate guidance, regulations and so on to play our part in restricting the spread of the virus, we can also be aware of a spiritual side to things and play our part in prayerfully seeking God for our nation and indeed the nations of the world. There's a verse in the Old Testament part of the Bible, the book called 2 Chronicles, chapter 7 verse 14, says this, that if God's speaking, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven. I will forgive their sins and I will heal their land. Now, the context of that was God saying when calamity comes, for example, with famine or pestilence and so on, and calamity having come upon not just our nation but the world through this pandemic is a very real thing. So we're exactly in the sort of circumstances where God is saying, well, if my people will turn to me, I'm going to heal their land. Now, the prime responsibility for that rests with those of us who are already believers, my people, as God would have put it. But in another sense, everyone is part of God's people. We're all created in the image of God. We are all created, intended to have relationship with our God. That's what we're made for, and that's how we function best. So, although you could honestly say the prime responsibility for praying and seeking God's face, that's a terminology meaning going deeper with God, actually engaging with God, that prime responsibility, you could say, rests with the churches. And in a way it does, and we accept that, and we've got to take a lead. But it's for us all also to be drawn in to seeking God's face, to praying, humbling ourselves before God, and asking for healing in our land and the nations of the world. I know that for some of you listening to this, the idea that you could have relationship with God may be new or strange, but it is a reality. It's something we're currently exploring in my local churches through online use of the Alpha course, an introductory to the claims of Christianity and to an opportunity to ask questions and explore what it all means. But whether it's through that or some other way, and whether you get in touch with a church local to you or one you find on the internet, or whether you go on your own or just with a group of friends, together seeking God, seeking His face, learning to pray, trying out prayer. It's not just for yourself, and it's certainly not just for God, but it's part of how we can play our part in seeking